everyone, Premier Sports. I'm Lauren Walker.
I'm Alex Simmons, and coming up on tonight's show, we've got all this. We've got the Wakefield chairman, Michael Carter, the bad boy from Hull KR, Ben Kane, super agent Craig Harrison, League Express Don, Martin Sadler, the legend Bobby Goulding, and all your favourite features. Wilston Little League, JJB on tour with RAF Leeming, Blooper League 1 and 2, teammates from two special guys, good mates of the show, England's Tom and George Burgess. Welcome to Rugby AM.
So let's introduce you to tonight's panel. We've got Wakefield captain there, Danny Kermond. He did such a good job last time we brought him back. It's Pete Emmett. And we've got an empty chair. And who should be in that chair? Well, we're missing Keith and Wagger tonight. They've got better places to be, obviously. And next to them, we've got our lovely JJB. And not forgetting our black Keith Lemon, it's Alex Simmons.
I'll take that. I'll take that all day, gorgeous. You were looking beautiful tonight, Loz. I know we wear Yorkshire men's wear suits and we're very proud of that fact, apart from Pete, it was a scruff. But I'm joking, Pete, I know what is it, Hugo Boss?
Hugo Boss.
All the best for you, son. Not as good as Yorkshire men's wear, Cameron Ross was saying.
Well, I was sick of you lot being looked after and I wasn't getting looked after, and the lovely ladies at V Boutique in Birstall have looked after me, so I've wear this lovely dress for tonight.
V Boutique, everybody! So yeah, you hopefully you'd have to take it back either. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Hoping so.
So V Boutique, she wants to keep it. Hashtag just saying. Kermo, the beard's gone. What are you doing, son?
Can't believe it.
Married man, Simo now. I've had to tidy myself up around the house. She's got me doing all sorts of chores and things like that, and beard was just getting in the way, so decided to have a change.
You better donate all your beard all back to me, kid.
Usually because my beard was so big and epic before, Jonesy, I went through a lot more than you, mate.
How was the wedding? How was it? Because we haven't seen you since.
It was amazing, mate, yeah. Kind of let myself down a little bit on the stag do before, but the wedding was a real hit. We had a nice time, got married in Santorini, had a lovely week there, and you know it were pretty much perfect.
Oh, congratulations!
Fantastic. Congratulations, mate. Jones, you've had a busy month this month. We filmed our very first advert, son.
We have, mate, yeah, and it's fantastic. It's for reactive media. We all had to go to Tony's offices and get blacked up, and unfortunately you can't see that because they cut it out, didn't they? The cut Wagger getting dragged out. But it's a bit of fun, a new experience for us, and hopefully good fun for Tony. Yeah, some pictures up on the screen. Wagger dressed as you. If you haven't seen the advert, check out our Rugby AM page, Rugby AM on Facebook, and it's on there. Also support reactive media. If anyone needs any insurance, please support them. They've supported us. It means a lot that Tony Abbott and all his team have been so good to us to get us to where we are today, Jonesy. Certainly has. Big help. We can't do it without the help of supporters and sponsors, and Tony's been right at the top of there. It's funny you should say that because I got sent a shirt through the post. It's in the sheds today. It's the Leeds Masters shirt. They very kindly, they love the show, big fans of the show. They put our logo on the front of their kit for no money, just because they wanted to support Rugby AM. It's fantastic. Outstanding. Can we have a round of applause for that? Making all that noise today, Jonesy, we thought we'd get it out on Twitter, put it on Facebook. We've got competition winners in the audience. Do you want to run us through all the clubs you can see out there? We've got Warrington in the corner over there. Very quiet. We've got one of my least favourite clubs, Wigan. We've got some Halifax boys, an Aussie shirt, which is probably the worst one in here. Wakefield and Cass stood next to each other, I think. Yeah, just about. Arms around each other. And we've got a couple of old fans and all staring me down. All godheads in the place today. Also, this week, I've got a new show on radio, as we do. Rugby AM every single Monday night. All you got to do is download the free app on your phone at All Star FM. I've started doing a show called Boxing AM with Josh Warrington, the Leeds Warrior, on a Saturday morning. And I had a boxer called Jamie Spate in the studio. Who does that look like to you guys? Who does that look like? Looks like it is the double of Tompkins. I could not believe it. That's boxer Jamie Spate, aka the double of Sam Tompkins. So I thought I had to bring that along and chat about that. We went off, and we'll see it later on. Went to support the armed forces down at Wilston for RAF Leeming. That was a good thing we did this month. And Loz, we're selling shirts. Yeah, you're a busy man. You know, you've got fingers in so many pies. But if you go onto the website, if you're looking for a nice Christmas present for your rugby fan, there's some amazing new shirts on there. We've got the Beast shirt. That's my favourite. What's your favourite, Jonesy? I like the Arachnid. I've ordered the Arachnid. Pete, will you be getting one for your son for Christmas?
No, I'm not getting on, so I'm not getting him out. Just normally have a budget of about £5, so if it don't make that, no, he's not getting out.
Well, you're looking a bit more peachy this time out.
Yeah, but I think the makeup you put on in the last time, I think you put Tipex on me. But it's funny sitting next to Kermore, because he says he took his beard off, he looks about 12.
He does look
But he was saying then about when they were getting married and that, and his wife said the beard's got to go before we get married, and the similarities with me as well, because before I got married, I made sure my wife took her beard off as well, so I was happy with that.
Last but not least, Wagger is not with us today. You have got a lovely picture of Wagger. He's hard at work at his new job. There he is, Wagger selfie. And he's back in pre-season, so he couldn't make it tonight, but he's back next month. And last but not least, Keith is in Jamaica. And there he is. And that proves to everyone that Keith is actually Wayne Rooney's father, right? That is actual fact. Keith is Wayne Rooney's father. Right, we've got loads of stuff coming up on the show. But first and foremost, officially joining the team next season, every single month, Tom Burgess is going to have his own section, Tease Us, and him and his brother George have got together and bought us a very special England teammates.
It's the little things, the simple things about you.
The best dressed. We had a bit of a competition the other night, didn't we, when we went for dinner? We said who would be the best dressed, so we said $50 for the best dressed.
Schmeigel's had a good effort, didn't he?
Why don't we give it to Matty Smith in the end, because he showed up with his brown leather shoes on. So.
It wasn't too hard to win though. Most of the lads pretty shocking when it comes to the fashion department, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Best dressed, Matty Smith. We'll give it to Schmeigel.
Good work, Schmeigs.
Worst dressed. Who's the worst dressed?
Jammer, without a doubt.
I'd have to go for Jammer. Yeah. He has his
bucket hat.
He has his bucket hat, cargo shorts, and wife beater.
Last year when we went to South Africa, when he turned up at the airport, we actually thought he was going to go to the safari with the kit he was going on. He said, Jammer, we're not actually going to the safari, just so you know.
Who's best with the ladies? Ooh, gotta be careful, aren't we? What we say.
This guy here. They send this guy in when lads want to talk to some girls, I think. You got the chat up lines, haven't you? Or Rubes. Send Rubes in maybe. Who's the tightest? Chris Hill. I knew that one straight away because I'm rooting with him. Every time you ask who's shouting coffees, you know, he's nowhere to be seen. So yeah, definitely Hilly.
No, we went for coffee the other day and he scraped. I think he scraped $3.20 coins out of his wallet just to pay.
Oh, who's always late? Who's that one? This guy.
I don't like
three or four times has been late. Who's missing here?
I wouldn't call it late. It's been on time.
No, he's always
right on time. But
if you're 10 minutes early, then you're 10 minutes late. In my books, to be honest, you should be there 20 minutes before.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Well, we'll sort it out this week. We'll sort it.
Who's the coach's favourite?
There's been a few jokes about this, isn't there? We've seen.
Yeah.
Obviously,
has been sniffing around Macca's bumhole a little bit lately.
Obviously, the halves have to speak to the coaches more than us, because you know they have to think more than us. But yeah, we went with Smithy, didn't we?
Yeah, Smithy's got a nice relationship brewing with Uncle Steve.
Who's the strongest?
You're looking at.
I don't know. Between me and George, I reckon. Not being big-headed, but between me and George, we should probably should we do an arm wrestle now?
Callum Watkins and Josh Charnley are pretty explosive, but who's focused?
Pound for pound, maybe one at smaller lads, because you know, I think Josh Hodgson, he's strong, isn't he?
Yeah.
I was tackling with him over there, we like hitting a brick wall. So for his size, Josh Hodgson, he's a strong lad, and obviously Daz Clark as well.
Fantastic teammates there from Tom and George Burgess, friends of the show, and Tom's promised us
every month next year. He's going to be part of the show, month in, month out.
Can't wait for that. So we've got our first guest of the evening. We've got Kermo's boss in the corner, and I'm disgusted because he's not even got his own club tie.
Can't.
Well, what happened with that is I had to give it away at the end of last season. A fan came up and said, "Can I have that club tie?"
And you can't afford a new one.
We can't afford. We haven't put the order in. So,
so this is Michael Carter, Wakefield chairman.
Evening, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Kat, it's great to have you here tonight. It's fantastic. We had you on the radio. You were that good value. We had to get you onto TV. I see you've been to top up your tan for the TV. You're looking brown.
You're the brownest on the panel.
It's going somewhere. Yeah, got to get to Portugal when you can, can't you? Off season, 6 days away. Got to do it.
Do you like a round of golf?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't like me, but yeah, I like a round of golf. Danny's the man, isn't he?
Mate,
He's a bit of a bandit.
He wishes. He had a shocker last time out we played. He's had a few shockers, old Kermo.
I did, yeah. I were a nightmare. I think Mavers beat me on last Super League, best golfer, so...
No, that is a bad one with Mavers.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. I've not lived it down yet.
No idea. Yeah. Kermo, are you a bit nervous with your boss being on?
I am, yeah. I am. Obviously, we like to have a bit of banter on the show. I'll have to be walking on a few eggshells tonight, won't I?
First and foremost, before we start the question, we've got loads to ask you. How did you deal with the Danny Kerman Snapchat at the club? What was the first thing that went into your head? Obviously, massaging calves and all that.
I think outwardly, ignorance was bliss. So I just decided that I hadn't seen it, and and Danny informed me by text that he was just performing a massage. So I thought we'd leave it at that, and that's my way out of it.
To be fair, she's a sort though.
Well, I can't comment on that.
You can't comment on that.
He's definitely batting though, to be fair.
She's my wife now, Simo. We can't talk about that.
He's in the Don Bradman class, and when it comes to averages there.
I was actually talking to you in the green room about Twitter and social media and stuff, because you said you've kind of got on board with it all now.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you had to get involved just so you could see what the fans were saying? And...
Yeah, I mean, originally it came because I just wanted to get my thoughts out there rather than having to go through our retail and our media guy. So it was just easier on a Sunday night when I'm sat there bored and there's nothing on to tweet a few things out there and try and generate some interest. So I got on board with it. I'm not the best at Twitter, but I put a few things out there, and it's good to follow the lads, Danny, Macca, and a few others, and see what they're getting up to.
Spying.
Yeah.
Yeah, spying.
Michael, it's great to have you involved in Rugby League. What made you choose the sport of Rugby League, and then, sort of more importantly, what made you choose the club, Wakefield Wildcats?
Well, I was born and bred in Hull, so I grew up watching Hull FC, and going back to the Boulevard days and the great days of James Lulai and Knocker Norton was my first hero. So I was always brought up on Rugby League, but never played it. I've always played football. I go for the soft option really, and just play the pansy game. But I got involved with Wakefield about 3 years ago. I got invited by the previous owner, Andrew Glover, to come down and help out a couple of days a week. And I'm pretty sure I didn't mention not getting paid to him, but I didn't get paid. And I sort of worked there for a year or so, and then moved away again. And then it all came to a head last August when the club was close to going to administration. And I'd got a few shares at that time, not major, a couple of grand really, but me and another guy, Chris Brayton, sort of had to make a decision whether to try and rescue the club from administration. And we ummed and ahed for a good 2.5 hours one Thursday morning, and then decided to take this big loan out to pay the Inland Revenue and a kit supplier as well, and sort of fell into it like that. Had to put our houses up against that loan, so we're still paying that off. And it's been really hard work. There's no denying that it's been a really tough job, but at the same time, there's some really enjoyable moments along the way. Doing stuff like this is money can't buy sort of prizes. You go on Sky Sports and the radio and you get involved in stuff, and then moments like last year. My favourite moment last year is when Paul Sykes scored in the last second at Widnes. And at the time we were struggling. I think we got 2 wins from 9 or something like that, and he goes over in the last minute, and there's me and Kath nearly falling off the balcony. So it's moments like that really get through the hard times when it gets to the end of the month and you think, God, we're 15, 20k short on wages. What we're going to do? And touch wood, so far over the last 14 months we've got through all them periods. So still enjoyable, still loving it. but I think I'm getting greyer by the day.
You've spoken about a few decisions you made to go in with the club. What's been the best and worst decision you've made as a chairman since you've been there?
The best decision was definitely getting Kath Hetherington on board. Her knowledge of the game, you know, me and Chris could have run a business, there's no doubt about that, and we could have broke even, but would we have got last year's team together? Very, very doubtful. From where we were sat in the September of the year, and we'd had to lose Ben Kane and Justin Poor and Paul Ayton and Tim Smith and a whole host of us. I think we lost 10 players, and Danny will know this. We, you know, he came into pre-season, there was about 11 players there. So we managed to cobble a team together, and to be honest, after sort of the end of May, we really put a good run together, and I think it bodes well that we can have a proper pre-season this year with 27 players and really hit the ground running next year. And you know, I'm hopeful that we can get into the top 8. I don't like making predictions, but you know, I'd like to get into the top 8. I think it's a realistic challenge for us from where we've been. And but if we end up in the middle 8, so be it. You know, I might not enjoy it, but you know, we should have some good crowds, some good games against local teams that'll be in that mix. You know, Featherstone, Sheffield, Halifax, Bradford, you know, Lee. There should be some good games in there.
So what's been the worst decision?
Worst decision, not selling Danny to Salford.
The titty-copter came flying in. Marwan wanting Danny, throwing the money around.
Yeah.
Seriously though, why did you not sell him? Because I'd have looked at him and I thought, you know what, he's not getting any better. He's getting on.
It was a really tough decision. I mean, Danny was in the dream team at the time, you know, and Marwan made a really sizable offer to us for Danny. And
how much?
I'm not.
More than 200.
More than what?
200 grand.
Quid.
If it was £5,000, honestly, I would have took it.
It was tempting. But we made a decision at that time. You know, we'd sold a lot of players, and I think we had to give the fans something to sort of hang their hats on as well. And Danny's a local lad; he was our captain, and we just felt that the time wasn't right. You know, it would have been easy to take the money. You know, it would have paid another wage bill, but. You know, you've got to draw a line somewhere, and we realised that we had to get a team together as well for this coming season. But, you know, if we'd known he were going to miss 25 games out of 27, then I might have sold him. But no, you know, it didn't take that long to think about, to be honest. You know.
Michael, I've heard you're a great leader. I'm just looking at that chin, and you look like a great leader as well. I've been thinking about shouting, "I'm Spartacus," while I was really watching you. But you're going to start this season on the salary cap, £200,000 lower than everybody else. So you're just talking about finishing there in the top 8. How are you going to do that? How's the team going to achieve that with such a low start point in the salary cap?
Yeah. I mean, it's well documented, Jamie. I've said that we won't spend more than we're earning. So if our budget for next year on a first team is 1.5 million, because that's what we've got available, then that's what we'll do. I can't afford to keep putting money in year after year. You know, I'm beginning to spend my kids' pension pot, and that goes against everything that, you know, I've ever wanted to do. So it's going to be tough, and we're going to need a bit of luck along the way. You know, we need to be injury-free for the vast majority of the season. We've got a squad that's going to be probably 26, 27 in the first team, and we need a little bit of luck along the way. But I think we showed again from that period in June of last year that, you know, we're capable of putting a run together. I think the start will be crucial. You know, we had a poor start last year for a variety of reasons that are well documented. But I think if we can get a good start this year, really get in the mix, I don't see why we can't achieve that. You know, we were very close last year. There were a couple of results that went against us. You know, you look at most teams, with respect, took 4 points off Bradford, and we took none. You know, so there's elements of that we could have got in that 8 last year, and I think. You know, given a fair win next year, I think we've got a chance.
Thank you for coming on tonight. It's been absolutely brilliant. We are marketing people. We will come down to Wakefield, do a live show from Wakefield, get all the fans in after the game. But right now, please be a big round of applause for Michael Carter.
Great to have Jimmy Lowe's back at the club. We've gone down, but Jimmy will get us straight back up. It's really bad times at the minute, but we know with Jimmy...
We've been relegated.
Yeah,
so
we'll
it's
be.
really bad times. We might have been relegated, but we know we can come back twice as strong.
Yeah.
For you, Jimmy, we
I
love you.
forgot, mate.
Come on, Wagon lad. Come on!
Start to keep going! Yeah, during my time off, I've hated it, but it's given me a bit of time to Alice. Love you, Josie!
Oh, it's that way.
That's why I'm hoping for a move to Salford. Nay! So Marwan will help me move. Oh, we're doing well then. I'm travelling around, spreading the life about the herbal life. I'm travelling around with herbal life, spreading the word. I jumped just to that. Woo!
That's not a heart. Like that. Like that? Oh, no, like that. Like that. It's a heart. Like that, like a heart. That's not a heart, is it? No, do it like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, that's it. That's a heart. Yeah. You need to move your fingers back. You bend your fingers.
It's fused, isn't it?
Rugby AM is brought to you in association with Reactive Insurance for your home and life insurance needs.
Welcome back to Rugby AM. We've got what can only be described as a rugby league legend in the place. I've been trying to get this guy involved with Rugby AM since the very first start. Please make some noise for Mr. Bobby Goulding.
Cheers, Ralph. Thanks, guys.
Hi, Bobby. Obviously, we've had the Four Nations on last week, and England's performance has been a little bit scratchy. I'm just wondering what you make of the performance and if you think we should go back to the Lions format.
I'll answer the last bit first, Dan. Definitely go back to the Lions. There's nothing better than, I did play for England and Great Britain, but there's nothing better than putting on a Lions jersey. I think you can see in the other sport what it means to them all the Four Nations coming together. On the performances, 3-horse race again, and they come third. All right, 4 points against the Aussies, little fingernail with Ryan Hall's try.
Was it a try?
Well, it wasn't because it's not in the paper, mate, is it? And England not in the final.
Yeah, true.
But it's every year, there's an excuse after excuse all the time.
Did you not think they progressed as a team though this time? They looked like a better unit.
Yeah,
how much happy you personally?
They did against the reserve Australian team. Yeah, I really do. I think the Aussies have got a lot more power in depth. I thought that the best game was New Zealand on Saturday. The lads adapted themselves. Too much structure for me. You needed to win a game by 10 points. They needed someone like Ratchford, someone like a Rob Burrow, someone who can come off his feet, someone like a Rangi Chase. Matty Smith is the best scrum half in this country, for me. He sticks to the Wigan structure perfectly.
Yeah.
But is it Blake Green who he plays with at Wigan? He can come off both feet, he can do a chip over, he can kick to his wingers. They needed a bit of something like that, mate. You can't keep to the structure all the time. You need to be a bit of a maverick. Yeah. And I think that's what letting us down. Danny Maguire wasn't there, Rob Burrow wasn't there. Ratchford.
Who would you picked in the halves?
Well, I'd have picked Matty Smith and Sam Tompkins. I'd have put Zach Hardaker at fullback. Because you've got Matty Smith who can play the structure way and get him to a point on the field and work him out the back. And then on Saturday, especially when we needed to win by 10 points, put a Ratchford on. Let him just go and win the game. Put an Hardaker to fullback, put Sam, and let him play to a bit of a structure and then take the shackles off with 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, when the forwards really got on a roll when Clarkey was on.
Yeah.
Get Ratchford or get Sam Tompkins with the ball in hand and let him really take them on. And we had to have a go. We didn't. We stuck to too much structure, and we fell short again.
A lot of players, older players in particular, think that structure came from the NRL. And I hear a lot of the older lads say, we need a maverick, we need to be ourselves. And that's what Great Britain, England used to be when we had players like yourself playing in the halves. Do you think that we need to go back to that being ourselves mentality and just go out there and play the English way?
100%, big man. 100%. There's no doubt about that. What we've got is some of what the Australians haven't got. And what they've got, we've not got. But we've got to stick to our strengths. Rangi Chase has been in the England setup now 2 or 3 years. And for me, he should be playing with Matty Smith, someone totally different. Gareth Widdop just comes in, he's not playing our style of play, like, you look at the England team and it just looked like Wigan, didn't it? But with no maverick. And, you know, that's what I like to see, a little bit of a maverick player, someone who gets you on the edge of your seat, someone you go, go on. You know, Robinson from Huddersfield, you know, he gets you on the edge of your seat. Danny Brother would have been the ideal person for me. But that's another matter. He's, you know, he's William Wallace, isn't he? And he's Scottish, he's brave. He's up with Scotland now, but he'd be one person who I'd be talking to, and you know, for the next World Cup, I'd try and definitely to get him back.
Bobby, it's great to have you on the show. Fantastic. I've got to know you a little bit. One thing I will say, it's nice to see the passion that you still show for the game. When you're talking there, you're just full of enthusiasm and that. Our game, I think it misses people like you, characters, and one of the characters of the England team is just sort of being well documented this week. You know, going on to things happen on tour. You've always been a bit of a quiet lad, really. You never really sort of got much attention from the media and that, you know. But do you recall any funny incidents from going on tour?
Not really, mate. I used to be in bed at 8 o'clock every night. Don't speaking to my wife good night and off we go. But I was just talking to a couple of lads outside, and the characters have gone. You know, I understand that, you know, the professionalism and, you know, what the lads showed. I've been, but it's 3 days a week training and then into the full-time environment. And that's where it got me a little bit, you know, I tripped up a few times because, you know, I used to turn up for training with a couple of beers down your head. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I say, we've been in hotels with Paul Sculthorpe, Justin Harrison, ironing boards flying off the top. The top rooms in the hotel and that. Sculthorpe's a terrible tourist, you know, really. Scully, me and Justin couldn't believe it, to be honest.
And I believe there's a reason we should never ever drink out of a kettle when you're staying in a hotel.
Yeah, I think, Lauren, we'll keep that one with us here, and you know, I don't think it's right where the kids are about. But you know, there's been a couple of incidents, and a big one that happened with me on my first tour. We went to New Zealand. We'd just been beat by Papua New Guinea, and we went on to New Zealand, and Malcolm Rayleigh had said to me, Bob, he said, I don't know whether I'm going to go with you or Derek Fox. Why would you be in the team? He said, Gary Freeman's the best scrum half in the world. I was an 18-year-old kid, played 10 first-team games for Wigan. Malcolm Riley's talking to me, and I said, I should be in that side because I'll take Gary Freeman out no matter what for you. He said, right, son, you're number 7 at weekend. Go and have a pint with Paul Dixon. I took Paul Dixon to the Chin Chin bar in New Zealand and ended up getting arrested. 2 lads picking on me, couldn't believe it all. But there were a couple of, you know, little incidents what we've done, but touring's good and we should get Great Britain back onto the...
You're definitely a character of the game, because I was speaking to Chev about you last night and he told me it's like the floodgates opened when I mentioned your name, and there's none that we can air on here, which is pretty bad for Rugby AM because we do air some things. But however, I believe there's a nice story from last year. So you're the manager of Barrow and you decided to put your boots on last year. What happened there?
Well, they were getting beat every game, didn't they? They'd not won a game. You know, the lads were improving all the time as a team and we were going really well, and a couple of injuries, and I thought, I've been training with the lads, I'm doing a little bit, and I thought it was time. I thought, because I never retired on my terms. I just never retired on my terms. It was, people were saying he's retired because I tore my bicep off and not played for 8 years. And there was an opportunity to play. And I got man of the match anyway. Yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it, Lauren, to be truthful. I love the game.
How did you feel the next day?
I love watching. To be honest, look, I was in the swimming pool. I was brilliant. I think the adrenaline really kicked in. I got on that field and, you know, the number 7 was already gone and I got the club to do 3+4. Number 7, I always had to have number 7, you know, on my back. And I love the game. I love being around it. I love watching kids. I love watching the kids play on a. You know, I've got a nephews and I've got my sons playing under 7s and the 10s and 11s. And I've stood there for 3 hours on a Saturday and Sunday, and I love the game. I love to be back involved with it. And then you see people like these two going out and smashing people all the time. And I used to love, you know, being a halfback and talking to these big guys in the changing room and really winding them up and, you know. I don't know what the word is. house in at the back, me, you know, onto the opposition. Hey, JJ, go and sort him out. Damn, on a bit, you know. I used to love winding up Apollo Perolini, Vila Matautia, Kurt Sorensen, people like that, you know, Andy Platt. Used to love playing with the big men. You know, I used to wind them all up, and you know, we're very successful at winding people up, to be truthful.
Bobby, you were a star, and I remember growing up watching you, and I played against you at Salford. I can prove this in show one when we talked to Matt Lewis. Said there's only 2 people I've ever been starstruck with, and he was one, and you was the other when we played Salford at the Willows. I thought you were fantastic. I mean, I think about it now, it's in that St Helens shirt, and I just wondered, you know, you've played quite recently, you've gone out there, you've got that competitive rugby league nature still inside you. When Saints struggled, right, this season with that and a half, did it ever pop into your mind at all that maybe I could just go out there and do 20 minutes?
Yeah, I texted him about 3 times, but I got knocked back, so I think that says every course I did, mate. Especially with people like used to, international players for me. Somebody who'll look after me. You know, my brain's still there, but my legs are not. People will say my legs were never there. But I honestly really feel I could guide a team about in a dinner jacket. Halfback's playing a dinner jacket now. Matty Smith, although, you know, I love him, and I'd love him to take the line on a bit like a Rob Burrow, like I just said before. But Matty's 5 metres back, front runner. It's behind all the time, it's behind. If Matty could just get a little bit of a running game and take them forwards on, you know, little drop-offs, taking him to the line, really buzz around the ruck, I think, you know, Matty would be a better player, but I think playing in structures now, I think I could get through it. I've still got the best kicking game, mate. I haven't got a doubt about that. Mate, I haven't got a doubt. I'd have about 6 injections in my ankle, but I've got a better kicking game than anybody in Super League. I've not got a doubt about that. I'm really confident in my own ability. I still practice every day now. Honest, I could boot that, and I bet you them kids don't catch it.
Mate, your things off field as well have been well documented. You've had a few problems in recent years. You know, you've got this, I don't know, stigma of being the rugby league's Paul Gascoigne. You had a few troubles. I've seen a few of your tweets. You know, I'm a man of faith and a Christian and stuff, but I've seen that you've started tweeting a few quotes and things that get you through your life. You know, my faith gets me through your life. What have you been up to?
Yeah, I as we all know, mate, and you know, it's not nice when young kids are sat here because they're the future of our game, mate. They do look up to people like you. I think I'm a little bit too old for them to look up to me. I did, you know, I ended up drinking quite a little bit and using drugs. It was the worst time of my life, pal. I had a crash, nearly lost my life. Hit a tree at 50 mile an hour. Don't run into them trees, lads, they don't move. And from that day, I got into the Sporting Chance Clinic, Tony Adams' Sporting Chance Clinic. And for my wife, for my family, you know, my kids, for myself. If you don't want to do it yourself, then you can't do it for anybody else. And now I look on the day and I take each day as it comes. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow's not here, concentrate on now. And life's not too complicated now, mate. We're, you know, years ago I was thinking 3 weeks down the line, 4 weeks down the line. No, what's the point? It's not even here yet. So like you say, mate, there's, you know, being a Christian, you know, I don't go putting banners up and, you know, believe in the Lord and things like that. I believe in a higher power. I believe there's somebody up there looking over me, where I didn't before. Whether it's the big man, whether it's my nana, my granddad who've passed, whether it's somebody, but there's a higher power than me. I never ever thought there was a higher power than me, mate. Never. And I still struggle with it today. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And each day I'm getting better. Each day I'm learning about myself. Alcoholics Anonymous is a massive organisation in the world. And I don't mind. I'm not embarrassed by telling people now, to be truthful, mate, where I'm going, what meetings I'm going, who I'm involved with. I'm safe. And to be honest, when I was out drinking, doing whatever, I wasn't safe with the company that I used to keep. Yeah. But now I'm safe, mate, and one day at a time, I'll get my Super League job. I've not got a doubt about that. I've been doing the after dinner speaking with Pete Emmett, and I'm the best at that already in 12 months. I can't believe how good I am at that. and you know, I'll be taking Alex's job soon because obviously you all love me.
It's not hard, mate. It's not hard.
But, you know,
anyone can take his job.
Like I say, mate, every day as it comes, I'm taking along, I train hard, and I know that my Super League job will come. It's not ready yet because somebody up there doesn't think I'm ready to take it, and it'll happen when it's going to happen, and I know it will.
Bob, it's been fantastic to have you. I've got something to ask you. Next year, myself and Rugby AM and Rugby League Cares are arranging a bit of a Masters, like little tour. Would you like to come and play and be one of our Masters, be our scrum half for our Masters tour?
I want to be captain, to be honest, pal.
Yeah, well, I'll be a toss-up between you and Gary Schofield.
Can I play against him?
we'll do a Yorkshire versus Lancashire trial game.
Oh, that's sound. That's not a problem.
Not a problem, mate.
Can I have JJB and Danny on my team as well?
Not a problem. He'll be retired by then. So I'm joking. Right, thank you very much. The legend that is Bobby Goulding. Make some noise. Right now, we're going off down into Warrington, me and Jonesy, to meet the very cool Wilston Rovers under-10s Little League.
Who are we? Green Army. 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 Who are we? Green Army.
Can anybody tell me the jokes?
What do you call a cow in an earthquake?
Go on, Paul.
A milkshake.
Right, anybody else got any?
How is Europe like a frying pan?
Well,
They both got grease at the bottom.
both got great. Are you all good lads at school?
No.
Right, so who's done something bad at school? Tell me what you did. Go on, Paul.
Go on, Bobby. Got some soap on my hand and smacked someone in the face with it.
And what happened?
I had to ring my mum.
You had to ring your mum? Like anybody else? Did anybody get paid for scoring tries?
I used to, but then I started scoring too many, so my mum decided to give it up.
How many were you scoring? How many too many?
2 a game-ish, 2 or 3 a game. So
And how much were you getting paid?
£1 each.
So your mum didn't want to give you £2 a week?
Nope.
Were you killing it? Were you ripping
It's
it
the
all
same
up?
as me. Got 5 each try, got too much.
Say that again, Paul.
Got £5 each try, but it's too much. So she give it up. Too much tries to get about nearly 5 a game.
You was getting 5 a game, so what you could have done is said, instead of making it £5, we'll have £1 a try. So could have
She
earned
did
a
that
£5.
and then she went to 0.
So you got a 0? Right then, if there's anybody in Super League who you'd like to smash, any player, usually it's Ryan Bailey, right, and I don't mind anymore because he's gone now. He's got the look at. So who would you like to smash if you had a chance?
Chris Riley. Yeah, Chris Riley. Chris Riley.
Why would you like to smash Chris Riley?
Because he's ginger.
Well, that was a great little league there from Wilston Rovers.
We've got the Wilston under-10s in the studio.
Yay! Okay, so we've got our next guest of the evening. We've got the very lovely Ben Kane from Hull KR. Welcome, Ben.
Thank you. Go on, the Benny boy.
Go on, Benny boy. I'm buzzing that you're here today, mate. I can't believe you turned up, to be honest with you.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. You're looking really sharp, though.
Cheers, mate. I'm trying. Making it effort.
That blazer's nice. In fact, me and Chev had a few conversations about this blazer this week.
It was a grey one. It was a grey one.
Oh, is it a different one?
Yeah, the
He said it's an all-weather, multi-purpose blazer because you had it on with a beanie hat, then you had it on with like a Hawaiian shirt, then you had it on, so with a bit of everything. Get your money's worth out of
Multi-use,
it.
that's right, yeah, if you're going to spend that money on a blazer.
That's Lord Farquaad off of Shrek.
Feeling it. Bit taller.
On tour this month, we went to RF Lehman versus Wilston Rovers, and that's a charity game for Remembrance Sunday that we had last week. You started off, didn't you, your sort of amateur career at Normanton, and then you went and joined the Army, and you played for the Army as well.
I did, yeah. I walked past career office one day and just like walked in and that was it. Off I went, 17 years old. Dropped out of college previous to that and then, yeah, just went in.
Build a bit of your character being in the Army?
Yeah, probably. Probably a little bit of it, yeah. Some fun and games with the Army boys and what have you, but it were, I think I went in a bit too young at 17. Got myself in, well, I've had trouble all my career, all my life really, but I got in a fair bit of trouble during my Army career as well, and then came out and obviously worked my way up from Doncaster.
There's a lot of banter in the lads on the on-tour video. What was the difference between the banter in the barracks and the banter in the changing rooms in Rugby League?
It's pretty similar, but I think the banter in the barracks it goes to a different level in terms of, you know, we've seen some funny stuff with Joe Monan and all that kind of stuff, or Josh Hodgson flying through a door or whatever. But in the barracks, it goes to extremes. You know, I probably shouldn't really talk about what goes on.
You actually played for the Army in the Challenge Cup, didn't you, against Hunslet?
I did, against Hunslet Warriors. Yeah, I came on for probably the last half an hour and got sin bin for 10. So, right, yeah. Ben, I've got to know you over the past few years. You're not your typical Normanton lad. You look a little bit different. You'd have sort of started dressing different. You look like a sort of rough version of Mark Wright from The Only Way in Essex, to be honest. But, you know, I know you spoke then about you joined the Army and you left college. Was it difficult giving up that cleaning job at college to go directly into the Army? No, on a serious note, I want to say, like, you know, Wagger does his impersonations. How do you feel about that? Are you slightly offended by him doing that? I thought it was great. I thought he did a great job. So, obviously, representing the brand for us as well, which I'm part of. So, good on you.
What brand would that be? Because I don't think you've mentioned it yet.
Yeah, the Herbalife badge there.
Oh, yeah, I can see the badge now.
And we've got an exclusive for you now, Bennett. We've seen you on Twitter this week, smashing out about Josh Hodgson, but we've got an exclusive angle of the Josh Hodgson video sent to us from inside the camp. If you want to have a quick look at it, boys, on the screen. There he goes through the door everyone's seen. And here's the other side of the door. You see Josh Chandler just closing it. He's coming through the door. Hey! The flying Englishman there. Now, you had a lot of banter on Twitter about it. What's your actual thoughts on the incident?
Well, I just think if you can't laugh at something like that, then that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? And obviously, I've got a different sense of humour to one or two people, clearly. But I thought it was fantastic. And obviously, there's been no harm done. And as far as I'm aware, they were encouraged by the people that own the house to crack on and have a bit of fun. So I think if they're going to buy cheap doors like that, it serves them right. It's gratis.
Totally.
Yeah.
Word on the street, Bennett, is that you're now a millionaire from Herbalife. You get in there.
I'm having a good crack, mate. I'm having a crack, and it's the key for me with that is it's probably a bit of a focus away from rugby. Whereas previous, I never really had that. I used to come home from rugby, maybe call into bookies, go out on a weekend. And I'd probably, if I were ever out drinking, I'd stay out longer than I should have done, and that's when trouble. Well, that's when I found myself in trouble and got myself in situations.
And it's
that
good to then have something to go on to once you finish.
Yeah, and obviously I left school with nothing. I think I left school with a C in drama because I was good at acting about, and dropped out of college, joined the armed forces. I got a bricklaying trade in the armed forces, which I'm crap at, so I'm never going to be a brickie. I've done my personal training, but again with the personal training thing, I just think your income's probably limited with the amount of hours in the week and the set fee you can pay, so your income's pretty much capped. With a network marketing business as a whole, your income is uncapped if you build it properly and ethically and do things properly, which is what I'm trying to do at the moment. And as I said, it's given me a good focus away from rugby. I'm still Ben, you know, I'm still Ben at heart and get myself in. Like we saw bits and bobs on Twitter the other day, but you know that's just me. And if you took it out of me, I probably wouldn't be the same person. You know what I mean? But like I said, away from rugby, I've got a good focus now and something I enjoy doing.
So if anyone wants any Herbalife, you're the man to speak to.
Give me a shout. Let's look after you. Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you very much for coming down, mate. And everyone give him a big round of applause to Benky Kane. Coming up after the break, we've got Martin Sadler and much, much more.
Rugby AM is brought to you in association with Reactive Insurance for your home and life insurance needs.
Who is the best trainer?
Oh, I know this one. The best trainer has got to be Liam Farrell. He's always sneaking off and doing his secret sessions and not telling anyone.
He's a closet trainer?
Yeah, he's a closet trainer, so yeah.
I'll go with that, yeah, I'll go with that.
He loves it.
Worst trainer? Probably
Jammer.
He's always complaining, isn't he?
Well, he trains hard, but he just doesn't like training. He says it gets in the way of his holiday.
I think he just likes complaining, doesn't he, Jammer?
Yeah, no, he just likes. He likes just.
He calls it ticking boxes. So, physios do form rolling and that, and he's not a big fan of that. Oh yeah, well I'm rooming with Jammer, so he has his waterfall every night. It's very particular. body's a temple, innit? So he's a hot water bottle on his lower back every night before he goes to sleep to get his back warmed up.
He also loves, after a game, getting his bags of ice on the coach and, you know, sitting his feet on there so he can cool himself down. One of his many little theories. He's got a lot of things like that. He's a very, very strange man.
Who's the most skillful?
Most skillful? I'd probably say Kaland Watkins, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's got a good step on it. I don't know with ball though.
Deadly left foot step.
With the ball.
Sam Tompkins is pretty freaky with the ball.
Jammer?
Jammer's up there.
Jammer loves the little pass play, doesn't he?
He's front rower, but he's got a bit of skill about him as a scouser.
He's an half-back in the front row, his body, isn't he?
He's on a few of these, this Jammer, and he's pretty popular. Who is the shortest in the shower? What do you mean by that?
Well, we know who's the longest in the shower. We've seen everyone's selfie, haven't they? Everyone's seen the selfie.
No, they're not talking about that. They're not talking about that.
The shortest in the shower, well, there was a selfie going around in England, wasn't there?
Charlie.
Josh Charlie. Who has a dog's body?
There's a few going around in this team,
Hilly's
actually.
like real hairy as well.
Whitehead is not. He's got a bit of a
smelly, yeah, smelly. He likes to think he's ripped, but he's not.
He's proud of it. He's proud of his little belly.
Who has the biggest head?
That's pretty easy, isn't it?
You're
looking at two of them here.
You got Jammer as well, though, hasn't he? He's got a big cowhead, Jammer. Jammer's obviously everyone knows about Jammer's cowhead. It broke Sam's cheekbone, so there you go.
No, but I don't think it compares to mine and your head.
No, it's vertical, isn't it?
Last one here. Last one. Who do we miss in the squad the most, other than our brothers Luke and Sam?
Oh, yeah.
I'd say Benny Westwood for sure. Last year in the World Cup, he was an absolute character, and you know he was a highlight, making me laugh every day with his quotes from movies and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd definitely miss.
Yeah, Big Benny's a character, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good to have around the place. And, you know, I was gutted when I found out he wasn't a part of the squad.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Over and out.
Whoa, Jammer got a hammer in there. England teammates part 2 with Tom and George.
Yes, that was very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to introduce our next guest tonight. He's not only the pot washer, tea boy, owner, writer and editor of the League Express. It's Martin Sadler.
Hi. Pleasure to be here, and it's the first time you've ever invited me on the show, so that's really kind of you.
Mate, it's great to have you here. You're a rugby league oracle, and Jones is always talking you up, so I thought definitely get the main man down here.
That bribe worked then, did it, Jamie?
Something like that. Yeah. You obviously own the Rugby League World magazine as well. I'd be fortunate to write a column in since 2008. 2014 was the 400th edition from when it started. As Open Rugby in 1976. And I've been banging a little bit of a drum because I've looked at that first ever copy of Open Rugby. The first page, first paragraph, to paraphrase, talks about how Rugby League is a fantastic northern game. They've got some brave guys that go over to Australia and play with the Lions and battle hard for this country. But unfortunately, Rugby League just doesn't seem to be able to spread itself, market itself, and it's never grown above or below those M62 borders. No. And I'm just wondering, we're all obviously talking about the same thing today. How's it changed in a media perspective?
Well, it's changed a lot, but it's not necessarily got that much better. You know, back in 1976, it was Harry Edgar who launched Open Rugby, and he lived in Oxford in those days, so it's amazing to think that a guy in Oxford was the first person to produce a Rugby League magazine like that, and we bought it in 1998. So, you know, back in those days, Rugby League used to have quite a strong presence in the national newspapers. You know, every national newspaper had its own Rugby League writer. You know, people like Brian Batty at the Daily Mail, Jack Bentley at the Express. You could go through all, you know, Paul Fitzpatrick at the Guardian. They all had Rugby League writers. Now, I don't think any national newspaper's got a Rugby League writer, certainly not on the staff. One or two of them employ freelancers, but, you know, we've recently found, you know, Neil Barraclough was writing for the Daily Mail. They've got rid of him. Very good writer, Neil Barraclough. Dave Hadfield was full-time at the Independent. They got rid of him probably about a year ago now. You know, because the thing is, the national newspapers are declining. You know, they are in the digital age. people don't buy newspapers in the way they used to. So everybody's trying to go digital. Now, digital gives you opportunities, but it's also a bit of a threat as well. And we just don't seem able, our sport, to sort of penetrate the London, what you might call the chattering classes. You know, we've not got those people on a string in the way that, for example, Rugby Union does have, with the way they're promoting their World Cup next year. They're just doing some very smart things that we just don't seem able to pull off ourselves at the moment.
I noticed that myself because the other day I was watching the national news, I think it was the news at 10, and there was a piece about Sam Burgess obviously going to Union.
Absolutely.
That's the first time it's, you know, been on the national news, and it was for him to go to Union and, you know, all the great things he's done in our game, and it never gets that recognition. It must be so frustrating.
It is frustrating, and of course it's why people like him are going to Rugby Union in the first place. You know, I mean, the thing that frustrates me, Lauren, is that we've got a great England team at the moment, I think, that was so unlucky not to get through to the final of the Four Nations. And yet, you know for a fact that most of those guys who play for that team could probably earn a lot more money if they went into Rugby Union. And, you know, one or two guys, I know they've been tapped up. I mean, everybody, you know, it'd be crazy to think that they wouldn't be. So, you know, it's a real tough job for us to keep those guys playing our sport, to make sure that, you know, in the next tournament against the Kiwis next year, all the guys who played this year are still playing next year. You know, it's a tough ask.
There was another tournament played recently, and there was a lot of interaction on Rugby AM Twitter about the fact that the European Championships weren't televised. And in my column this month, I spoke to Steve McCormack, who's been the Scottish coach for the last 10 years. And one of the things we spoke about was the fact that such a great tournament, which essentially went right down to the last few minutes, was not televised. And he thinks we maybe missed a trick, especially when, after the World Cup performance from last year, you're starting to get actually the Scottish Rugby League team on the back of Scottish papers.
Well, the thing is that the Rugby League World Cup last year made £3.5 million profit, so we're told, and there's no reason to disbelieve that. So what's happening to that profit? I mean, Premier Sports, as I understand it, wanted £30,000 to broadcast all 6 European Championship games. If they'd done that, they would have shown them free. It wouldn't have, you know, it would have been a free broadcast, so everybody could have tuned in. But you know, the Rugby League International Federation, in its wisdom, declined to pay 30,000 quid for what seems to me like a great value deal.
Yeah.
You know, why did they do that? I mean, I just can't understand it. If we can't spend £30,000 of the £3.5 million profit promoting that game, on that tournament on television, what the heck are we doing with the money? I'd just love to know.
The worst thing is for me, Martin, we never get told.
No, we don't.
That's the thing.
No,
There is zero kind of interaction with the fans, zero understanding. If someone came out and said, this is what we're doing, this is the plan to promote the game, it made me happy. We could all, because we do this for free.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to promote the game.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Well, we could all be part of it then. But, you know, for example, the Rugby League International Federation doesn't really exist as a body. It's got nobody running it. I mean, they've just been turned down as for the chief executive's role by a guy called Mike Miller. Now, Mike Miller was the chief executive of the International Rugby Board, the Rugby Union Board, for 10 years, from 1992 to from 2002 to 2012. Very able guy. The Rugby Union did a lot of things when he was in charge that have really taken that sport forward. He applied for this job. He was headhunted. He looked as though he was going to take it, but then apparently decided not to at the last minute for some reason. We don't know why. You know, he's not said anything. The International Federation's not said anything. But so we're back to square one now. You know, who's going to run the International Federation?
I'll do it.
Well, I'd put you forward, Alex. Definitely.
I will
definitely put your name forward.
You don't quite do
Nigel,
enough at the moment.
Get on the blower, son. I'm your man. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Kermo?
Martin, obviously the main headline on the paper this week in the League Express was out of reach, with a picture of Sam Tompkins reaching for a ball in the Four Nations. Why do you believe that the Four Nations is out of reach for us at the moment?
Well, actually, it's the final that's out of reach. I mean, the tournament itself, I think we were dead unlucky, actually. I thought we were the best team against New Zealand. I thought we were the best team against Australia. I thought we played extremely well. Our attacking play in particular against the Kiwis was some of the best attacking play I've seen an England side play. But for some reason, we just couldn't quite convert that dominance into points, you know. And I also think we were, I've got to say, cheated out of it by an Australian video referee official when we played Australia. I thought Ryan Hall try was an absolute try. No question about it, and I think a lot of people feel that way. So, you know, apart from anything else, we need to be a bit smarter off the pitch. We need to make sure that, you know, the Australians are not appointing Australian referees to their games against us. Let's start by doing that. That's a good place to start. But, you know, the second thing is, I mean, I think we've more or less reached the standard that they're at, and I'm fairly confident. You know, I was talking to Ian Lenigan, the Wigan chairman, the other day, and he was saying, you know, we're up at their level now, and there's every reason to think that we can, you know, stay at that level or even get beyond them. Let's not forget one thing about Australia that's really interesting to think about. The Australians, if you look at the NRL, probably at least half now of their players come from the Pacific Islands and want to play for the Pacific Islands. So the Australian, you know, the number of players the Australians can select for their own team is actually declining. It's a bit like football in this country, where we've got so many overseas players that there are fewer players who qualify for England that you can pick from. So, you know, I think the Aussies are not going to have everything their own way in the next few years. So I'm fairly optimistic. Yeah.
Of all those players to pick from in England, who were your standout players in this tournament? I think James Graham, the Burgess lads.
Sarge.
The Sarge was outstanding. The Wigan boys.
I mean, Steve McNamara's coming for a lot of criticism, and you know you can understand why, because we've lost. But the smart thing he did was pick Sargentson. I didn't think Sargentson. You know, I was a bit critical when Sargentson got picked on the tour, but I was dead wrong. You know, Sargentson has really shown what a good player he is.
Would you give Zach Ratch or young Budgie, Joe Burgess, a little run out at some point? Would you try to get him in? Especially Ratch, a bit of a maverick.
Yeah, I'd try to give all those players a run. To be honest, I think you've got
Should
to do that.
they have a warm-up game?
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, they should have ideally, but the trouble is the Samoa game was only 2 weeks after the grand final, so it was very difficult to find room for a warm-up game. But yeah, you've got to bear in mind how difficult it is for players who are in a squad who go out there and then don't play a game. I think that's a bit dispiriting. Jamie, if you were in that position, how would you feel?
I've not been far off, mate. I got 45 minutes in 2008 World Cup in 5 weeks.
Yeah. But you know, it's not easy to keep your spirits up when you're just not being picked, is it?
Not for most people, no.
No. Maybe for you it is.
I'm quite positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mate, it's been fantastic to have you here. Please make some noise for Mr. Martin Sadler.
Thank you.
Right now, we are going off. We're going on tour. I've took Jonesy. You took the RAF. I took Wilston. Let's see who won. Alex Simmons versus JJB on tour. Welcome to Rugby AM on tour. It's Jonesy's first on tour. I've dragged him along with me today. And where are we today, Jonesy?
We're at Wilston Rovers in Warrington. I'm buzzing to be here. It's my first on tour. I can't go around other Super League clubs because I play for Leeds Rhinos and I get beaten up. And to be honest with you, in this military environment, people were a bit nervous when I walked on scene. But we're over that. We've done our warm-up, done our team talk, and we're into the game.
It's a very special game today. Who's playing?
It's the Royal British Legion Poppy Peel. So it's R.A. Fleming versus Wilston Rovers. It's been 100 years exactly in 2014 since the start of the First World War. So we're getting behind that. We're buzzing about rugby league charities and we really want to get behind this. So go out and get your poppies if you're not got one.
Get your poppies. And today I've given my team, Wilston Rovers, because it's Alex Simmons versus JJB for the third time. And this is also a third time game because the RAF have won one. Wilston have won one, so this is a bit of a decider, and also I could go 3-0 up. So far, it's 18-0 to my team, so I think it could be on for another loss today, Jonesy.
There is, but there's two teams on each side. It could change second half, could be a game of 2 hours. I think it's 1-1 apiece with us, mate. You won the shooting, I won the fishing, so we're looking for a decider today, and I think the military guys have got a bit of a forfeit for whoever's losing, so I'm up for that.
I'm up for that. Let's get your poppies, I'm really privileged to come down here today, and it's Alex Simmons versus JJB. Now he was saying to me all the way down at car, I'm having an RAF team. I said, you know what, mate, you pick today because he loses every challenge. I've come in here, first thing I've seen, Sideshow Bob. So I know we're on a winner anyway, Craig Euby. And so, you know, I think you boys, looking at their team, they can't catch. There's some big horrible brutes, but the skill level, this man says to me, is going to take us through today. You're going to move the ball around. But I've just got a feeling, I come in to the changing room, first thing I've seen is this little Akbar here.
So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's got winner written all over it. One thing I say is just because they're in RAF don't mean they're hard at all. I reckon you're going to smash them up. Big lad, I've seen you wrestling. We're scary. It's a big one here, it's monster. And definitely not him. What I need today from you all is 110% commitment because I really need to beat Jonesy. He's got 6 rings. And that's, he thinks he's better than he is. Let's be honest. Go on for Kev Sinfield, mate. It'd be nothing. Let's be honest. So, lads, enjoy it today. Smash them to bits and win the decider. It's 1-1 now. I've got every faith it's going to be 2-1. I'm going to beat James Jones Buchanan.
Presentation time.
Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've seen a fantastic afternoon here at Monk Sports Club, and both sides, Wilston Rovers and the RAF, deserve a great credit for putting a great game together. Just like to get Jamie Jones Buchanan, who will present the Man of the Match award to the Wilston Rovers number 13, Scott Whiteley. And then the trophy for this afternoon's game, the Royal British Legion Challenge Trophy winners, Wilston Rovers, will be collected by Captain Chris Mellor.
It's been a fantastic day down here, Wilston Rovers. Thank you very much, Jonesy. It's official. You are now officially 2-1 down. Winners are grinners. Big up the Wilston. Make some noise! Go on, Wilston! Lads, have you got a victory song? Have you got a victory song? Oh, what? You got a victory song? You got all to add, Jonesy?
No, it's better to die in defeat than living in these. I don't mind losing with RF. It's been a great day. It's all about charity. So I'll take 2-1, mate. We'll get best of 5.
Right, get your poppies. Support the great British Legion.
Rugby AM is brought to you in association with Reactive Insurance for your home and life insurance needs.
Welcome back to Rugby AM. We are back in the sheds. First time in the sheds today, and we've got this amazing audience of competition winners. Rugby AM fan page on Facebook. Make sure you like us. Make sure you're also downloading the All-Star app. Enter the competitions, and you could be part of our audience every single month. Kermo, you are back. You're part of the show. Social media. Yeah. What have you got for us today, son?
Well, I've not been as active as I normally like to be, Simo. You've given me a few things this month as well. So there's some real good stuff, some exclusives again. And we've got a good catalogue now. We've got a few things backing up for next month's show as well.
Starting off with an exclusive from inside the camp. The most famous hair in rugby is Josh Chandler. Wow.
Pineapple. Pineapple.
Yeah.
It's alive.
Yeah. What's your favourite style that you like to do?
This one.
My favourite style, yeah. I think it looks good, that.
There's Howley laughing away.
Timo, we've got a Wigan fan in the crowd. This is Nathan. You've had 2 days off work to come and see us tonight, haven't you?
Yeah, you have, mate. Yeah, well, sat at home last week and friend Jack here texted me saying, like, oh, I've won 2 tickets, come watch Rugby AM, get some, do you fancy it? I thought, yeah, so I was talking about staying over. My mate goes uni here, so we're going to blow it to him. It's like, anything happen on a Monday night? Like, yeah, it's student night. I thought, right, belting. Come on, booked hotels. Booked hotels, like, so yeah, it's here for 2 days, 2 days off work, going out tonight after this as well. So
awesome.
I don't know if you better get a pie in Huddersfield. Do you like pies?
Hey, plenty of Greg's knocking about, mate.
What do you think about Budgie going to the Roosters next season?
I don't know, I'm pleased for him because he's one of my friends back home, like, and, I don't know if it's too early in his career or not, or if he'll do a Matty Russell, I don't know, but all best for him anyway.
Right, we've got a streak of it as well from the game this weekend. Now this, everybody, is Desire. It looks like he's in that stage.
Oh.
Kermo, would you be proud of that try?
Yeah, I've actually run that far a few times when I was a winger, Simo, and it takes a lot of effort. He's beat about 6 men, so maybe someone should get him signed up.
Every team has game scores for tackle bus. Yeah. Meters and scoring tries. I reckon he's probably scored about 100 points there in that 10 seconds.
Also, Jonesy, we're going to move on quickly. We've got Halloween. Do you recognise his face, Jonesy?
I didn't do it till I asked who it was, and it's my half-brother, Jody Broughton.
Jody Broughton dressed up for Halloween. And we've also got Jordan Turner from St Helens. His Halloween, absolutely epic there. And there, Kermo. Talk us through this one, mate.
Well, yeah, that's my Mad Monday outfit, Simo. I'm not the best drinker, mate, as you'll probably see from the next photo, but that's the day after, feeling a bit sorry for myself. I don't know which one of my lovely teammates has sent them into you, Simo, but I'm sure I'll get them back.
I think next month you're definitely going to get us some more social media, aren't you? So I'd have to fill it with you.
I definitely am, mate.
Right, last but not least is a tweet from one of your teammates today. Going out today, now Jones. Let's get a reaction. Paul McShane, just looking at the Super League squads for this year, and I just cannot see Leeds doing anything. What do you reckon to that, mate?
We'll see.
We'll see. Is that it?
Yes, we'll see.
Oh, what do you reckon to that, fans? Are Leeds going to do anything this year?
Yeah.
No.
Who's going to win the league this year?
St Helens.
Are you from Saints?
Wakefield.
Wakefield.
Go on, lad.
It's always good to dream out there. Right now, keep watching Rugby AM.
Yeah, let's do this then, Simo. Remember all that? Just take it in and just feed it to me. Feed it. A message to all you UKR fans. I absolutely loved it at the Lightstream Communication Stadium. Is that right? It's not communications. Where have I got that from? Just Lightstream Stadium.
Where did you get off from?
Hey, what is it? Just Lightstream? Lightstream Stadium. Yeah, it's all right. Message to all you UKR fans. I absolutely loved it at the Lightstream. Pray for Taurus. Pray for Taurus. One line. I'll again. Take 6. Message for all you UKR fans. I absolutely loved it at the live stream. It's full. A message to all you UKR fans. Hey, I absolutely loved it at the lime. Lime? What have I got? I might have to have time out. I won't lose my Lightstream. Lightstream. What's so hard about that? Yeah, let's go again. A message to all you UKR fans. I absolutely loved it at the Lightstream Stadium. Woo! What about that? Yeah, go on, I did it! Woo! Take 9, baby! Love you, Benzig! What is it again? Yeah, say it again. Oh, that's hard, I forgot you. Say it again.
My new show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
My new show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Welcome back to Rugby AM. That was an absolute class blue play. I've really missed Wagger tonight. Kermo, are you missing Wagger?
Well, no, I've got a better view at panel from over here. It's a long way over that side.
Right, tonight we're joined by a fantastic guest. We've had him in the radio and we had to bring him on TV. He made us laugh that much. Please welcome Mr. Craig Harrison from Show Me the Money. Craig is a super agent, Craig. Big, powerful man in rugby league, doing the big deals at the sharp end. Is that a good description?
Very good, yeah.
Who have you got in your books at the moment then?
The high profile or the youngsters or Danny Maguire,
high profile and then
Zach
you've got up and coming.
Danny Maguire, Zach Ardacre, Liam Sutcliffe, Ben Curry's. Probably about 75% of rugby league I've got at the moment now. I think I've got 68 players at the moment. I've probably got about 12 internationals, and then my joy and my heart's in the youngsters bringing them through, really. So that's where I target most of my areas.
Your trade is in waste management. It's how the working class guys get rich in business. Rugby league's how the working class guys play professional sport. What have you learned through waste management that's taken you into the agent business, and why did you get into rugby league?
Well, you deal with waste, and then you deal with waste on the rugby league side. I got into it by chance. I think we've talked about it before. I was golfing at a Leeds corporate day, and a young lad at 19 came to me and said, "Oh, you know, I'm with you as part of your team," and I sent him for the equipment you use at golf, which bought Mars bars, 4 cans of lager, 20 silk cut. No, anyway, he come round with Danny Maguire at 18, 19. We got on well. The year after, we did the same again, and he came and said to me, "Look, I'd love you to look after me. Would you be an agent?" I said, "Only agent I know is show me the money, Tom Cruise." So hence that was it. Yeah, went on from there.
You also ploughed a lot of money into Doncaster as well. You went there, lost a lot of your own money essentially, and learned a bit of an hard lesson into how hard it is to run a rugby league club.
100%. That's right at the coalface. I think I did invest a lot of time as well, not just the money, and a lot of my heart. And so I've been there and done it. It helps me in my dealings with some of the chairmen because, as I've said before, I can say, well, I've been where you have. I sometimes value players up what I think. And it's usually compatible instead of going in high and then dropping low like, you know, you get taught in the agent's book of nasties. But no, keep it honest. I've been there where they have, and it's an hard job. I certainly won't do it again.
Obviously, Craig, you'll be looking at it a bit of a different perspective from our other guests tonight. How do you think the game needs to develop, and what does it need to improve to develop?
Just what we always say. I'm sure of it. We've got a great game, great product, but we don't. No, I think the marketing side, I think that you lads are trying on here to do is fantastic, take it to the masses. I think we talked last time. I know at Doncaster, if you got people to come, they'd come again. They just didn't understand the game, a bit like when we watch American football. We sit there and it takes us 6 months, then it clicks. Now most of the rugby lads go and watch American football. Maybe just, you know, try and explain to people what actually happens, don't be ignorant about the game, and share it with the kids and say, this is actually what the rules are. I think somebody says that in rugby union and other teams, it's usually 1 or 2 individuals that... We just need to make sure everyone understands the game, I'm sure. The profile of the players, you don't see the players on the television or on the media. I know another channel which you've, you know, I can remember saying to somebody, the executive there, why do there no players on that show? And they said, well, they don't handle themselves, they don't this. It's untrue. They've never had the chance to put the sons out there. They're actually quite interesting characters, and they've all got a story to tell and a line and a gag. So I can't see why not.
You've done some big deals in rugby league. You've mentioned you've got some great lads. I know you bought Zach through. You took a bit of a punt on Zach. What's the biggest deal you've ever done, and what are you most proud of achieving as an agent so far in the game?
Well, the Zach story is the rags to riches, isn't it? I got asked to go to Featherstone and watch this young lad and meet his family by Mark Campbell, the chairman, who said, look, I've got somebody I think he'd suit your personality because he's crackers. No, because he's got a bit in him. So I went and watched him play and thought, my God, he has got something. But he'd never been picked for a service area, or he'd never been picked for a team of any representation. So I kept watching him and thinking, 2 years later he scored 2 in the grand final for Featherstone. And I had about 6 chairmen in the audience, in the crowd, and I said, as soon as this game finishes, Zach, this is going to change your life. If you turn it on today, it'll change your life. Well, I had 6 offers by 5:10, I think. We did the deal the week after for him to go somewhere else. It wasn't Leeds at that time; it was somewhere else.
Yeah, what it? Tell everyone.
I can't do secrets.
Can I say
Warrington. No, the deal was done at somewhere else, and you know everything was done. And all of a sudden, Leeds come through as Mr. Etherington does at the last minute, and you know, and said, look, you know, Zach had a call. It was quite close to home. Thought the character of Zach had suit Leeds as well, so. It went. It went through, yeah. Yeah. I'll tell a story about Zach scoring the grand final. I think the year after. I think about 10 minutes to go, we got an interception, and very emotional, definitely, for see a kid come through from where he come from and all. You know, as I say, not being represented in any Yorkshire or service area or playing for Featherstone Reserves, then 2.5 years later scoring in the grand final. They're the dreams.
Let me quickly ask you, as his agent. Are you disappointed he didn't get a run out in the 4 Nations?
Yeah. Well, he's a game changer, isn't he, Zach? Whether he plays well or not, and I think defensively he's certainly got every aspect which you need at that level. But Zach scores, you know, I think it's a try every 1.5, 2 games, so he's always going to score and make something happen. He's certainly not scared, you know, but you know, his temperament's quite good, isn't it? In a big game, I often ring me players and say, have you got any nerves? And Zach doesn't have any nerves. It's like, oh yeah, the crap these, we'll get into these. He has a real outward look at saying, let's do it. So no, Zach could be a dream. I'm sure he should have played on Sunday, but history won't tell whether we will.
He's a class player, Zach, I reckon. He's a great character, he's a great mate of mine. But I imagine you become quite a shoulder to cry on as well sometimes. It's not just about doing the deals with big business clubs. I imagine they also ring you up when they get into a little bit of strife, a bit like Josh Hodgson there over in Four Nations.
Well, by the way, great shoulder charge that one.
I don't know, I'm a bit disappointed.
That's what you get if you ban the shoulders charge. You're going to do it.
Yeah. I watched that with my lad, and we both, thought it was hilarious, and I didn't see any harm. Sorry, it's not saying the right thing politically, but no, Zach's. He's a young lad, isn't he? Well, I don't understand it. He's a young lad who's going to make mistakes. It's hard to make sure he don't make them same mistakes again and again and again, which he does. No, so I'm sure they're all going to make mistakes. If we had a certain individual at 18, 19 with that temperament not to make mistakes, how are you going to make a person better? So no, they've got to make them mistakes. They've got to go through a bit. Some of the greatest players in history. We talk about it. How can you say in rugby league, this is how you should live your life? When Johns is our best player and he's biggest, with a bit of a character, he certainly wasn't a straight and narrow guy with a loose, but he turned out as being the one who people say mastered the game. He was no angel, was he?
No.
So I know we have role models and we say this is how it's going to be, but that's for suit certain people. It doesn't suit everybody.
It was perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all had his troubles in our times. A bit disappointed though with Josh Hodgson when I watched it. Because I think it'd been a lot more entertaining if he'd have left like a big human silhouette as he jumped through, a bit like Takeshi's Castle. But no, as you say, he's just a character, an rugby character.
I think so.
Craig, agents are a part of our game. Some people might like them, some people don't. I like the side of the agents where they get their kids the best deals and they seem to look after them and give them a bit of guidance. What would you say to a young player if you wanted to take him on board? What's your sort of greatest attribute that you could offer to him?
Certainly the cycle of life, the mentoring is the main thing you do. We can all sit there and there's a myth about agents. I think they think that there's a guy on the side of the pitch with sheepskin on a big Cuban and you're going to rob the kid and tell mum and dad I'm going to take him and make millions. Now, this is rugby league, it doesn't happen. So the chances are you can have 2 or 3 year mentoring a lad and then all of a sudden he don't quite make it, but that don't make it least successful. Everyone's a success. My main thing is to make sure that road makes them have a load of obstacles, but I try and be very close and personal to them. They're my friends. I don't allow any players to call me an agent. I'm sure Danny said that at Leeds, and I think he did his testimonial speech, said he's one of my best friends. So I think Luke said it at the Rugby AM.
Yeah.
So that's in a mentoring capacity. When they get to a certain level, another myth, up to being 20, they don't really earn enough to pay agents. So you can have 2 or 3 years with an agent and you don't get paid anything. I certainly wouldn't charge any kids who didn't earn above 15, 12 grand. I think it'd be disrespectful. So the dream is that you get the dream move eventually and then the agent can cash in and then maybe you get a couple of quid to put it bank. But it's a long drawn out job.
That was brilliant. Thanks for joining us tonight, Craig. Thanks to all our other guests as well. And as usual, everyone on our panel here tonight. It's been great. Another great show. So again, thank you to Craig. And I think it's time to end the show.
Right, another great show right here, Premier Sports Rugby AM. And it's been a great journey for me in the last 6 months. I'd like to thank everyone who's coming tonight and everyone who's watched the show so far. And especially one person. Because since I met this girl, my life's completely changed around. This is Mrs. Amy Ewing. I'm going to bring her out now. Because I've got something... Right, I'd like to ask her. I thought I'd do it in front of everybody because, I'm not scared. And, this year, I want to... Is that what I do? Where's the ring? You can't trust anyone from Charleston. Amy, it's been amazing, our journey together so far. And I would love it if you do the honour, mate, being my husband, being my wife. You see? That's it. It says yeah. Yeah! Husband.
Rugby AM is brought to you in association with Reactive Insurance for your home and life insurance needs.